Hi, everybody. Today I'm going to read Addison Cooke, The Tomb of the Khan, Chapter 10. The ancient junk glided across Victoria Harbor, the dazzling city lights twinkling on the dark water all around them like constellations in a night sky. Addison and Eddie used wooden buckets to bail seawater from the leaky boat. Now I know why they call it junk, said Eddie. The fishermen pulled hard on the oars, and soon they reached a strong current that carried the boat effortlessly toward the main island of Hong Kong. Only the wail of the sirens carried this far out across the water. Otherwise, the chaos of Kowloon was far behind them. Raj used his first aid kit to clean Molly's skinned arm. He patted it with gauze and wrapped it with a bandage. Aunt Delia and Uncle Nigel have a real talent for getting themselves kidnapped, said Addison. It should be called adult napped, not kidnapped, said Molly. Maybe it's not a coincidence, said Raj. Madame Fang and said she knew all about our trip to Peru. That could be how she got the idea of kidnapping them. Either way, said Addison glumly, they've been shanghaied. But we're in Hong Kong, said Molly. It's an expression. Shanghai means to kidnap. Sailors used to be knocked out and carted off to Shanghai. You can still get shanghaied in Hong Kong. The one place you can't get shanghaied is Shanghai, said Raj helpfully, because you're already in Shanghai. If you're in Shanghai, you'd have to get Hong Konged, Addison agreed. What are we talking about here? Asked Eddie. We are talking, said Molly, about the fact that Aunt Delia and Uncle Nigel are being shanghaied from Hong Kong. Eustace is being shanghaied to Beijing, and we can't Shanghai ourselves home to New York because we have no plane tickets. She considered whether they had any shot of calling the Hong Kong police and ruled against it. Addison, we've never knocked out a policeman before. Well, there's a first time for everything, Addison paced the deck. This was exactly the problem with archaeology. One minute you're packing for a pleasant dig in the Gobi, and the next minute you're on the run from Hong Kong police. It was not a stable career path. On the other hand, Addison knew he could not simply abandon his aunt and uncle. He thought about his father's obsession with the Great Khan. Pursuing the tomb felt like a way of sharing something with his father. He turned to face Molly. If only our family were stockbrokers, we wouldn't get into these messes. She nodded sympathetically. You know what we need to do, right? Addison sighed. He could see no alternative. If we want to help the A and U, we need to find Sir Frederick's next clue. He had to admit, he was excited by the prospect, but he knew that great dangers lay ahead. Addison flipped open his notebook, squinted, and could only just make out his own hastily scrawled writing. There lies an oasis town on the Silk Road by the Dragon Desert, where Nestorian Christians nursed me to health. Does that mean anything to anyone? Molly shrugged. The Gobi Desert is filled with dinosaur bones, said Raj. Thank you, Raj, said Addison. Any other useful observations? Raj pressed his point. Sir Frederick might call the Gobi the Dragon Desert. They didn't know what dinosaurs were in the Middle Ages. If Sir Frederick saw dinosaur bones in the Gobi, he probably thought they belonged to dragons, so Dragon Desert. Addison turned it over in his mind. There was a method to Raj's madness. The Gobi was near Mongolia, the home of Genghis Khan, and besides, they had already packed with the Gobi Desert in mind. He pivoted on his heel and faced the group. All right, we're looking for an oasis town in the Gobi. We'll figure out the exact city as we go. All we need now is a way to get from Hong Kong to northern China. All in favor? Molly nodded her agreement. Raj nodded eagerly as well. Eddie stood up, shaking his head. Oh no, absolutely not. I'm not going on a wild goose chase across Asia. We've been through this before. This will only end with us being killed or grounded. Part 1.